Hello everyone! Our topic for today in English 10, Quarter 1, Module 1 is about information from various sources. And here's our most essential learning competencies. Use information for everyday life usage. Come on and let's start our discussion. First, we must know what is the word information. Information are facts provided or learned about something or someone. And there are also methods of gathering information. For example, we have listening, reading, interviews, questioning, questionnaires, observation, and study of existing reports. And a great way of gathering information is from news reports. News reports are found in newspapers, televisions, or radios which aim to inform the readers of what is happening in the world around them. Next, we have speech. Speech refers to the formal address or discourse delivered to an audience. We also have informative talks. Informative talks tend to educate the audience on a particular topic, and also it helps the audience understand the subject better and to remember what they learned later. Panel discussion. Panel discussion is a live or virtual discussion about a specific topic amongst a selected group of panelists who share differing perspectives in front of a large audience. And next, we must know how to classify sources of information. We have here primary source, secondary source, and tertiary source. But first, we must know what is primary source. Primary source provides direct or first-hand information about an event, person, object, or work of art. They are original materials which have not been interpreted, condensed, or evaluated by a second party, and materials that were created at the same time the event occurred, or by those who experienced the event. And here are examples of primary source. We have diary, interview transcript, letters, oral history interviews, audio recordings, films and movies, newspaper articles, maps, autobiographies and memoirs, political cartoons, photographs, posters, and artifacts. And here are further examples of primary sources. We have letters, diaries, autobiographies, interviews, government and court records, event programs and brochures, film or TV news from time period, newspaper articles, magazine articles, photographs, clothing and other artifacts, maps, creative works such as music and literature from time period, family scrapbooks, and yearbooks. The next source we have is secondary source. It offers an analysis or retainment of primary sources. For example, is this. It offers to secondary source materials which summarize, interpret, reorganize, or otherwise provide an added value to a primary source, created after the event, created by someone not from the time period. Here are the examples of secondary sources. We have websites, reference books, and textbooks, magazines, and documentaries. And here are further examples of secondary sources. We have books on the subject, encyclopedias, magazine articles, biographies, history textbooks, academic articles, documentaries, websites, blogs, and interviews with experts. And now, let us differentiate the difference between primary source and secondary source. In primary source, we have autobiography, the story of a real person's life that is written by that person or himself. In secondary source, we have biography, the story of a person's life written by another person, not the person himself. The next source we have is tertiary source. Tertiary source is a lists, complies, or indexes primary and secondary information sources. These sources are most often used to look up facts or to get a general idea about something. And remember, some reference materials and textbooks are considered tertiary sources when their chief purpose is to list, summarize, or simplify or repackage ideas or other information. And here are further examples of tertiary sources. We have almanacs, chronologies, directories, manuals, handbooks, guidebooks, indexes, and statistics. The specific types of primary, secondary, and tertiary information sources you might use when writing a paper depends upon the subject of your paper. Example here, we have the topic Civil War. And that would be all for today in English 10 Quarter 1 Module 1 about information from various sources. I hope you learned something. Until next time, goodbye!